Today we're changing out the oil on my 2010 Jeep Wrangler JK. I'm going to go through that process. Nice when they give you little hints. 13 millimeter for the oil drain pan plug. You always look at the cap to see what kind of oil it actually takes. Always important to change out the filter along with every oil change. So, I got a commentator with me today. Let's get started. They actually gave me little hints as if I can't figure out which millimeter actually works for this, but nice to have. So that's the oil pan right there, and the oil pan plug that we're going to be removing. We'll get to the filter here in just a minute. It's nice to have some cardboard down. That way we don't get any oil on the actual ground. Alright, so as my commenter, my critic just said, make sure you have the oil pan underneath, or the oil drain pan underneath the oil pan. That way you can catch the oil as it comes out. And the last time my plug actually just so happened to fall right into that hole and stop the oil from actually going down. So I've got my stick here just to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I've also got an extension. That way, when I'm taking it off, it doesn't leak down and get me into the hand or the gloves as it's going to be. Should use disposable gloves. In most cases, that's what you want to do. But I'll be far enough back, plus I got plenty more of these. Always want to have a rag with you too. As I'm just discovering, whoever wrote 13 millimeter on there, which this is a 13 millimeter. If I can rotate it around, there we go. 13 millimeter, and they are absolutely wrong. That is a 10 millimeter. All right, so crawl back underneath in just a minute. Yep, now I got the right size. And obviously, it's a 10 millimeter, and it's on there good. So whoever wrote that on there, I've only done this oil change myself once on the Jeep. Usually I just have somebody else do it. But now that I'm loose, I can go ahead and just do everything by hand. That'll make it easier to catch that plug too. All right, so got my socket off now. I'm actually gonna try and hold on to it. There we go. Oh, that sucks. That's what the cardboard's for. So you got quite a bit in your filter too. And important to remember, which I'll probably say again, you gotta put some oil around the seal of the oil filter before you reinstall it, or it will leak on you. I've heard that story 100 times. All right, we're almost done here. That's why you want rags. Good thing I didn't ruin some gloves, even though I've got more. Just forgot to put them on. You never really get all the oil out. I'm going with synthetic this time. I think I had a synthetic in there before. But it's best to go ahead and cross over. It is cheaper. Alright, I got the plug back in. Gonna go ahead and just snug it up. Or tighten it up. That's good. It's a good idea to wipe it off, that way you can tell when you put the oil back in if it's actually leaking or not. Alright, there's the oil filter right there. We're going to go ahead and switch that out. Alright, I've got my oil filter wrench or tool on there. Counterclockwise the direction I need to go. See if I can do this while I have my phone here. Nope, I'm going to need to reverse it because it grips this way. So there you go. This is probably going to splash a little bit, so I'm actually going to come back a little bit. Once you get it loose, you should be able to just do it by hand. Drain it out all the way. It did splash a little bit. I'm glad I removed my phone, of course. And we're gonna put some oil on the sealed oil filter.
Put oil on top of your gasket on your oil filter.
See? 100 times. That might work better. Make sure I didn't get any debris on it.
Oil on the filter?
Yep, I put oil around the filter.
Real heavy?
Real heavy. I'll do that more in just a minute. Let me put my phone down. I switched to using new oil. It's all the way around it. All right, I'm gonna put the oil filter back on. Just go hand tight on this. Grabbed a rag because it was hard to get real tight with the oil that I have on my hands. All right, I'm ready to put oil back in. All right, this funnel is a little bit nicer because it has a ridge right here to rest the bottle. I'm not gonna attempt to do that while I'm actually holding a phone. So we'll get the oil in, get the cap back on, check for leaks. That little spot on the funnel didn't really come in that handy. All right, starting it up here. I'm gonna let it build a little bit of pressure before I check the oil stick. All right, I got one more quart to go. I'm gonna check the oil. I didn't let it run for very long. You don't want it to build up too much pressure. Kind of give it a minute before you actually check the level. All right, AutoZone did say 6 quarts. I only put 5 in it so far. Want to check it. Make sure that we're going to add that extra quart. A little bit of a trick to adding oil. Not sure how many people know how easy it makes it if you actually turn it this way. Get to put your cap back on. That's all right. Starting the Jeep up. Make sure we don't have any leaks. Build up some pressure here. All right, oil filter's not leaking. That's good. Get back here by the drain pan. Check that too. No leaks by the drain pan. That's good. Last bolt that I had in there must have been a 13 millimeter, but that one's definitely a 10. I'll leave it down there as a cool joke. All set. You're still watching with me. Appreciate it.